Today, we embark on the night intercity Uznam from Świnoujście to Warsaw. I'm in a single sleeper for the night, and over the next hours, we'll tour the train from head to tail. Sleepers, couchettes, seats, even the children's compartment. We'll test the comfort, find out what Uznam means, and see what overnight rail in Poland feels like. Expect a bit of history, the train itself, a beautiful sunrise, and a peaceful morning arrival in Warsaw. Come along! Hi and welcome to Swinoujście in northwestern Poland. It's about 9:30 p.m. on a winter night, and this station, opened in 1900, is completely empty. Just me, the lights and the echo of my footsteps and carry on. In summer though, this place is the opposite, packed with people before the night train to Warsaw. My train is that one on track 3, and to get there, come with me for a somewhat unusual route. You don't walk straight through the concourse. We exit the station through this little opening in the wall, walk along the outside, cross the level crossing, and then re-enter the station grounds. It feels oddly old school, but it's perfectly fine and it works. And here is my train, old until Szczecin, by a PKP EU 160.
Przyjmuje kierownik pociągu z wagonu numer 12. Planowy odjazd pociągu o godzinie 22:00.
The first car after the locomotive is a couchette car, which I'll show you later in the video.
Warszawa Centralna. Stoi na torze 4 przy peronie 2. Planowy odjazd pociągu o godzinie.
And right after that, my sleeper. Let's board.
22.
22, yes. And here is my compartment, which, of course, I'll show in detail in just a moment. There's a neat little cabinet stocked with orange juice, a bottle of water, and a few snacks, a small but nice touch for an overnight trip. The tap lives inside the cabinet too, and folds out into the sink when you need it. A vanity with its own light is also included. In the corner is the menu for light meals if you get peckish during the trip. The stairs to the middle and upper berths open smoothly, but since I'm traveling alone, the other beds are folded away. Storage is sensible, a wardrobe, plus an overhead shelf for larger bags. Power-wise, the compartment is well set up, with 3 power sockets and an individual reading light for each berth. And every bed has also a cup holder and a small net for your phone or a book. There's a little bin tucked here on the corner, and the light and sound volume controls sit over the door. Finally, The compartment comes with a basic amenity kit with a towel, soap and a couple of wipes. Overall, this compartment is compact, practical and thoughtfully equipped. Have you traveled in these cars? Drop your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. At 10:04 p.m. on time, the Intercity Uznam slips out of Świnoujście into the winter night. And as usual upon departure, today's trip map. After only 12 minutes, we reach our first stop, which I won't even try to pronounce. It's mostly deserted, as you can see. As a matter of fact, this train is mostly empty tonight, as you'll see during the train tour. Which is now a good time to make. Starting with the sleeper toilet, which also has a shower, which, for some reason, isn't working. As we move along the train, I'll show each accommodation, and the on-screen captions in the lower left corner will tell you which class you're looking at, while I discuss some other different subjects. First, of course, this train's name, Uznam. It isn't a thing, but a place. Uznam is an island in the Baltic Sea, split between Poland and Germany. This coastal connection shapes the whole route. This part of northwestern Poland is a summer draw, with beaches, ferries to Sweden and holiday traffic. So, in summer, this service is part of a much bigger tourism machine all over this region. In winter, though, as you can see, it runs almost empty. All this leads to why I still love night trains. They're practical and, why not, even romantic with the right company. You sleep while you travel, save one night's accommodation, and wake up already at your destination. No airport hassle, no wasted daytime, and for distances that fit into a single night, that often makes overnight travel the smartest option. A few booking tips for night trains while we walk. If you want privacy, book a single sleeper as early as you can, as during peak times these tend to sell out quickly. Couchettes are a cheaper alternative, still allowing you to lie down, but with no privacy. Sitting accommodations I truly don't recommend for overnight trips. They are quite uncomfortable and you arrive to your destination sleepy, grumpy, sore and feeling miserable. Now, is there anything special to sleeping in a train? It really depends on your sleep and, of course, the specific sleeping car you get. For me, I just usually lay down and close my eyes as if in my bed at home. However, if you're more of a light sleeper, earplugs and an eye mask are your best friends. And, of course, make use of the power sockets in your compartment to charge your devices, so that they arrive at the destination as ready as you for a new day. Overall, you can have a good night's sleep in a train instead of just a nap. A quick word on Poland's and Europe's night train revival. These services almost vanished a few years back, but demand and operator decisions brought them back. pkpintercity is one of the players that reinvested in sleepers and couchettes, seeing that travelers want alternatives to flying. Sleeper cars have evolved, and amenities like showers, bogies and suspensions tuned to reduce vibrations and air-conditioned systems that maintain a steady cabin temperature are not only common, but what passengers demand to use night trains. I already covered some and will keep covering several more night trains here on the channel. Now, I would like to hear from you. Do you like night trains? See them as a good travel alternative? Use night trains often? I'd also love hearing your best and worst night train memories. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. They will be most welcome and I read them all. Back in my compartment, it's time to lock the door, something you should never forget on a night train. Make my night ablutions, sadly only with cold water as hot's out, and settle down for sleep. Good night.
Several hours later.
Good morning! At about 6 a.m. or half an hour before Warsaw, the car attendant gently wakes passengers, giving everyone time to properly stretch before arrival. And isn't it fabulous to wake up to this golden sunrise? A simple frugal breakfast is served, and I can't resist eating it while gazing at the first colors of the day. Afterward, a much welcome coffee is offered as well. How did I sleep? Like a baby, but more on this later on my thoughts about the trip. When we start seeing multiple tracks and racing a commuter train, we know that the big city is approaching. And in no time, we arrive in Warsaw Zachodnia, our first stop in the capital. This is a handy stop if your destination is the western side of the city. Besides the passenger station, the Zachodnia complex houses office buildings and pkpintercity's headquarters are nearby. It's a practical, busy and sensible first stop for many travelers arriving in Warsaw. Not for me though, as I'm going all the way to the end, on the other side of the city. After threading through the city's tracks, we arrive at Warsaw Central, the subterranean heart of the network, about 22 minutes late. Most passengers get off here, so we spend a few minutes unloading luggage and clearing the doors. Having missed our earlier path up the line, we then have to wait for the next available slot before we can go on. That's rail reality in a busy morning peak like this one at around 7 a.m. Even with this, we managed to depart with a delay of only 13 minutes. The highlight of any train trip through Warsaw is the crossing of the Vistula, especially beautiful at this early hour. And after a little over 8.5 hours, we reach our destination, Warsaw Wschodnia, or Warsaw East in English. I actually like that long-distance trains call at multiple city stations. It maximizes options for passengers and makes the train more attractive as a choice. So, my thoughts on this trip? Overall, it was very pleasant. I slept like a baby thanks to the nice rolling quality of the car, though I noticed a slight vibration once we pushed above roughly 110 to 120 km per hour. The one real nuisance was the lack of hot water. In February, a cold wash is frankly unwelcome. Please PKP, don't forget hot water on night services, especially in winter. Aside from that, I enjoyed the journey and I'd happily use this train again. From the Baltic beaches to Warsaw, this is genuinely one of the best options. Comfortable, convenient and properly overnight friendly. Thanks for riding with me on today's journey all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the trip, don't forget to like, subscribe, share and drop a comment below. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these rail adventures rolling, always with a bit of history and technology. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next week.